Hi, welcome back to Between Therapy and Reality. I'm Rachel and this is Dana. Thank you again for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
Today, we wanted to talk about resilience. Um, and I really don't know how to begin this. This is like a harder conversation to have because there's so much. I was telling Dana before you started, like there's so many facets to it, and like how it shifted for me from a young age to now is so different. But according to Dr. Google, the dictionary says resilience is the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. It's a toughness. So, with that, I guess we always see resilience as a positive. A lot of time, not a lot, almost every single time somebody says, oh, that person's resilient, it's because they went through some traumatic event and they came out on top. But what people who haven't experienced that don't understand is that when you go through that traumatic event, you have a choice to break down or rise. Yeah. Like those are your options. Like there's no in between. Like you either figure it out or you stay miserable forever until you change something. Or you don't.
Yeah.
That happens.
I think we forget too, though, like that resilience is it's not just about going through like hard stuff, tragedies. It's really like some of us, it's just in the ordinary moments, like just trying to get up for work, like you're going through something that doesn't seem as big as a death in the family or whatever. Um, but, depression is so quiet and, nobody can see it. It's not out there like, 'cause I think it's just like sometimes just getting up or getting over that heartbreak.
Right. I agree. Like that's why this is such a challenging conversation because like again, there's so much to it. It's not this single like, oh, like I'm resilient. I can get through anything. Like you have to make the choice to do it. It's not something that's just innate in people.
Yeah.
And we say it is in children. Um and again, on so like it's I always say this in sessions. I'm like, yes and no. Like, because yes, like it is innate to some degree, but it's also like survival.
Surreal as it can.
Right. Right. So if you're learning how to survive these moments, yeah, of course you're resilient. Your options are sink or swim.
Right.
And children choose to swim more than they do to sink because they have to adapt to their environment. And like children are the only who are blip, blip, blip. Children aren't the only ones resilient in that way because adults adapt to their situation too.
What does like resilience look like to you? Like you have like a core memory of like, in the beginning years? I don't want to, but
In the beginning years, yeah, like for me, resilience was quiet. It was reserved. Um, there were some different situations that happened when I was younger, and I don't have memory of it. I just know it happened because of feedback and different things I've heard over the years. Um, but I knew not to speak on stuff either. And so for me, resilience was staying quiet because it was easier to be quiet and keep it to myself than to cause a ruckus over something that in my mind may or may not have actually have happened. So I guess that's another level to that. I kind of convinced myself it didn't happen because that was easier.
yeah.
And then I didn't have to tell my family and then I didn't have to deal with it. Of course, you know, trauma comes up other ways.
It
So
does. Those are Ellie ugly in it.
yeah, it doesn't hide. So um that was I guess that's another piece to like our first episode of like staying silent. Like that's another piece of it is like I kept so many struggles quiet, like naturally, that these other things added to it to tell me to stay quiet were just like building my resilience. When internally it was just chaos and I was fiddling around trying to figure it out.
Yeah. But mine was very physical. Mine goes back to the House of Horrors. for 14 years, my home. And we lived there after they divorced, final divorce. But sorry, I need to speak up. I'm curious. But like my childhood was very, like I said, the house of horrors. My dad was very abusive, and I think like just as a young kid, to such a sad thought. Like I couldn't even imagine like my poor children even ever having to have thoughts like that. But I even remember at like age 5, just sitting in my room and knew about God because, like, my mom, Danny's family was, religious. And then my mom's mom was very religious. So I knew God and believed God would come and save me, because that's what was always taught in the church, it's there for you, just talk to him. And I would just, as a little kid, you don't understand that, but I'm 5, sitting in my bedroom on my knees, begging God to please not let him come home because even at 5 is like felt like I had no more in me to deal with, with seeing mom get beat up and then the things that happened to me and then, telling me that if I tell these things that are happening that he would kill mom, he would kill Nikki, he would yeah. And if, you know, she would leave like sometimes when things got really bad, but she always went back. Always went back. And so I definitely didn't trust that she was ever gonna keep me safe. And it's not like I didn't feel safe with my mom. My mom was, till I was 14 was the best person in the whole planet, right? And she yeah, I'm rambling. Your password starts, it's just like keeping quiet, yeah, like we talked about in our first episode, but um that's where my resilience, I think, started. And that's not okay to have to be resilient in a space like that.
But it unfortunately is a very common experience. It's just again not talked about. For people don't want to shame families. People don't like, or they're threatened. And like, how do you, as a kid, how do you rationalize that?
Right.
Yeah, it's not possible. So it's just, how do I get through this moment so I can be okay for tomorrow?
Yeah.
If I can be okay tomorrow,
Right.
you just never know, and that is why resilience is great because it gets you through life.
Yeah.
But also, like, you shouldn't just get through life.
Yeah.
There's so much that can happen. There's so much joy that can happen. And it's missed whenever you stay in that survival mode of resilience versus the resilience of, like, I can do this because it's what's best for me.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I feel like I'm now in that kind of a resilient mode, we'll call it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm not going to tell you details, but like big situation just happened like
Yes, it
last
did.
week for me.
Yeah.
And I should be a wreck by
Yeah.
by all standards.
Mine you though you would have been and
Right, right. Or
Yeah.
like I've had so many people reaching out like daily, like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Or okay, what's going on? How are you? Tell me how I can help." And like I love that support, but it's also like I'm actually okay. Like this is it sucks. It's crappy. I hate that this is a situation me and my family are in. However, we can get through it
Yeah.
and figure out how to be okay, or we can stay stuck in that survival mode and be in distress and a ball of anxiety. I'm panicking all the time. I'm trying to figure out how to stop the next thing from happening,
Yeah.
which is how I've lived the last 4 years with this situation. Unfortunately, last week wasn't the first time I've had to do that.
Sucks that you had to go through so many times to get to that point, but I mean, giving up is you got your little man that's watching you, and that's honestly like the most important. You are the most important because without your mental health and everything, but sometimes we fake it to make it, right? And that's just the crappy part. Um, but we do have to sometimes just convince ourselves. I mean, it's just getting through that next moment. But when we got little ones watching us, we got to teach them how to like get through those hard things too. But also knowing that they have you as it's okay to let them see you down. They have to. They have to see how you get through it.
And I will say, um, sounds horrible, I guess, but like on my birthday, it was my 40th birthday, and it was right after my breakup. It was right after a bunch of stuff happened with my custody stuff, and I was just in a really, really bad place mentally. And it was my birthday. I was just like, this is horrible. Like, I'm 40, I have nothing. Like, I felt like there was nobody there. But I knew people were there. There was just like this internal battle of like, do people actually care, or are they just pretending to care? And like, here I am all by myself, and I was in the kitchen floor, and I was just sobbing
Oof.
because it just felt like the end of the world.
Yeah.
Ooh. And it was in that moment that I was able to get myself together and be like, and my son saw me. My son saw that moment. And it was hard because he saw me at my lowest. And I had a conversation with him and was like, Mommy's not okay. It's a hard day. There's a lot that's happening. And I'll be okay though. Like, I'll be okay. You know, I can say now I am okay. Like, not well for now. But I am okay because I learned how to let it go. And honestly, for me, it is my faith. Like, that is how I was able to move on, because I let go of the stressor. I said, God, I can't do this anymore. And if I'm being 100% honest with you, I begged God in those moments that if this is going to be my life, it's just misery, like the last several years, and just end it, because I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of fighting. And it was like, you don't have to. And for me, it was hearing those words like, you don't have to fight, I have you. It was like,
Yeah.
I don't have to do this alone anymore. And that's when like I started being more vocal about where I'm at, what's going on, reaching out for help, even like on Facebook, like, hey, I'm not okay,
Yeah.
say a prayer. That's not an easy task for now, but it's also like I can feel like the prayers, the positive vibe, I can feel all of that. And that sounds crazy.
No, gosh, that's not crazy at all. I mean, that's faith,
Yeah.
It's
And that's what's got me here, where I'm able to sit here and say, like, I'm okay because I don't have to worry. Like, I'm not happy about the situation. I'm not like, "Ooh, my life is perfect." Like,
yeah.
there are things like it's gonna keep happening. My life will not just be the smooth sailing. Like, that's just as long as this person's in my life, this will be a thing.
Yeah.
But I don't have to stress about it anymore, and I don't have to carry that alone anymore, because I have my God, first off, first and foremost, but I also have my family and my friends. And, like, that support has been overwhelming in, like, such a good way that, like, I haven't even been able to express it to people because it's so, like, I used to think people didn't care, and I had to do it all by myself, and that was my resilience, is I have to do this alone because I'm too much.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm not.
No, you're not.
It's not me. I'm not the problem here. Obviously.
And maybe he's not too much himself,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But like he can be is too much elsewhere.
Right.
So we are too much for some people, and that's okay. Those are not our people.
Exactly. The people who can't handle it, like, be gone.
Yeah, it's
Away. Like, I don't need that. I want somebody who can handle it. I need people in my life who can handle it. And my friends have, like, I mean, my own neighbors stood beside me, helped me in every possible way with the situation with my ex, and are still there today. And they're like, last night I was out with my friend, and I was me, so her friends out, and she's like, "Oh, this is Rachel, the one with the crazy ex." So I was like,
nice. Time to talk. It's great.
cool. Like,
Hey.
thanks. Thanks, girl. She's like, well, they went through it with us. So I was like, okay, that's fair. Like, but she was talking to them because she was in it to some. I mean, like I was saying before, like they were neighbors. So
Yeah.
like she was in some of that with me. And like, not too much for her.
Right.
Right? Like, she still shows up.
I love like that you have that faith. I love that other people like have, God that they can lean on. It's so hard. Like I've tried so much, even just as a kid. Like I didn't give up then. I didn't think that, oh, it's not that there's not a choice, that there's not a God, that there's not even over the person with Jesus, but everybody, not everybody, but so many believe in, that had so many reasons to not believe in it. Cause I mean, there was no saving, and, I didn't understand that. But so I just thought that, from being told, I'm going to hell because,
Yeah.
blasphemy the Holy Spirit. I just thought that that's why I'm not being saved. I'm going to hell, so why would he save me, anyway? So I just keep going, right? But then, I married my first husband, and, I felt like I can try this again. And it just, I don't know, it was faith though, because it was never like I truly believe that. But those that do believe it is so powerful to like be around, because
Mhm.
you have that. Oof, sorry, and then you got me crying. um, so when someone like tells me that, and I know like because sometimes church people have like bad reputation and
Right.
they're not really that great people. But when you know a person's genuine heart, when they say they're gonna pray for me, like, even though I don't believe that it works for me, I know it works for them. So it's, like, so welcome. So, like, I'm, like, not, like I'm at a stage now that maybe, that I can, kind of try to start again. It's just really hard. I don't know where to really start, but, like, I think it really, really began with my job, 3 years ago when mom passed. And then just, like, all the signs of her, it's just like, there has to be something beyond this.
Right.
However it is, I don't know, but there's something definitely there's something there for us, greater than this, because I feel her. And
Mhm.
so many of my clients show up in through those, like, I don't know, it's like, okay, like, she's sending me signs, like, oh, their lip balm so bad right now, 'cause it's our love language. That's not gonna be flipped off. You're not gonna be able to understand anything that was just said, because I know it's mumbling again. Sorry, y'all.
We're working on it.
Yeah. I think you get the gist though.
So with that like faith piece of that, I was out of the church for like I'm like away from faith for like 15, 20-ish years or so. Um, there was a lot that had happened. And one of the things that happened was my aunt passed away. And I remember being so mad at God that he took her. And it was from cancer. And she was not even 50. And it was just like, she was my person. Like, I talked to her. We had these plans together. I was going to move to Texas and I was good. We were going to go we were going to go to school together
Oh, that's cute.
to be social workers, which I didn't do that.
I
No,
mean,
this is social workers, but like it's not me. That doesn't fit me.
it's hard.
But like we had this plan. Like me and her had it outlined what we were gonna do. We were gonna like just everything was figured out. It was just a matter of me getting out of school and applying for jobs and moving down there. So that I could,
Yeah.
be a resident before I actually started school to be cheaper. Right? And she like, yeah, she got sick and that all disappeared. And I gave up on all my dreams. I gave up on my faith because I was like, you know what? Screw you. How could you take this amazing person
Mhm.
who believes in you? You can't even cure her. And then for 15, 20 years, that's probably why I got in a bad relationship because I just said, screw it.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah, accepting whatever.
Right. And like I didn't care about myself. I didn't care about my safety. I didn't care about my health. I didn't care about anything other than just like meeting like immediate needs right
Mhm.
here, right now.
Yeah. Whatever gets through the day.
Yeah. And then a bunch of stuff happened with my ex. And um, when I left him and I had my son, I had always known when I have a kid, I was going to go back to church. Like whether I wanted to or not, I knew I would because I wanted that experience for him in a positive way. Um,
It's a foundation of, just
like,
something to believe in to get through.
yeah, yeah, like I knew his life was gonna be hard, and I knew there's gonna be a lot of negativity. So I was like, if I can find something positive that he goes to and he can find joy in, like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Um, So it took a year and a half, 2 years ish after I left for us to actually go back to church. And the minute I walked in those doors, I was just like, why am I here? Like, this isn't like 2 divorces. I've been living this chaotic, crazy life. Like just all sorts of behaviors. I was heavily drinking at one point, like probably an alcoholic.
I can't even see that.
Like, to be honest, like there were times like I mean, that's how I got through my days with that person because it was exhausting.
Mhm.
And so we were drinking every single night. And sometimes it'd be a half a bottle of wine, and sometimes it'd be an entire bottle. Like it didn't like I wasn't pouring the drinks, I was just drinking 'em. So like who knew,
Yeah.
right? So I'm just like, I have this horrible past. And I was so scared to walk through those doors. And that first service, I was hysterical in tears. And I was just like, this isn't for me. Like, I don't fit in here. I'm not going to be accepted. I'm the adulterer. Like,
Yeah.
like I had all that anxiety. And I only went to the church I go to because a high school friend went there. He was a minister. He is a minister there. And I was just like, well, we went to the same church growing up. We went to church camps. Like, we have the same belief system.
Familiar.
So, like, why not give it a shot? And so, like, been going there ever since. And it really has been like home. It's good. And that's when, like, I got involved in the life group. Like, I really pushed myself, which was really hard too. Cause again, I was like, these people are going to judge me. They hate me. They're going to be like, why is this girl here? She doesn't belong here. But
They're gonna be judged everywhere we go, though. But you just
same
never know,
time.
right? You're gonna
Yeah.
impact, and
Yeah.
somebody else feel brave enough to go and
Yeah. I mean, no fair tonight. It's been an amazing experience for me. And like, I don't know what it would have been like at any other church. I didn't give any other church a try, but that was just like another step in my resilience path, my resilience journey, uh, where I was able to stop relying on myself solely. And like, I started to let people back in. And I finally started to figure out how to let those walls down and not have to battle everything on my own.
yeah,
And it's been amazing.
yeah.
Just that.
Hmm. I've I've always relied only on myself, and now, like, since my kids are older, I have them. But like I said last week, learned a hard lesson if I can't rely on them for my uh, resilience, in a way. Like, it's okay to bounce off ideas with your kids at that age, but like I was doing too much for real. But I don't know. It's till until now, like even last week when I think it was last week when I reached out to me, it was 2 weeks ago, said, I'm not well. I don't do that. I don't ever tell anybody that I'm not well. I do have one friend that we have in common of our mamas passing away within a couple of months of each other. It's insane, the amount of people, like, you don't realize, like, the grief that everybody else is going through. It's like, gosh, I'm not alone, we are going through it, but, like, um, I don't know, just I'm stuck, sorry. I lost my thought.
You're fine. Talk about not being alone.
Yeah.
And like hunting to open.
Yeah, I just, like, yeah, I finally, like, have a few people, like, I really feel like care. And, like, even if I know that you all can't fix it, but it's, like, just that saying, just getting it out, not just out to myself in my home with my kitties, because I know my kitties love me, but
They're feeding back in the grave.
I mean, they're
Pushing off
purrs.
the ledge.
No, like, they're deep purrs and sitting on me, that really does help, but it's still, like, not like, "It's okay, mom," you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, just making sure somebody else knows. And there is always 988, so
Oh yeah, 98.
it's like not if you don't feel like you're
Crisis
hanging,
line.
yeah,
Yeah.
just try to be real here.
For
Like,
sure.
I don't have anybody because I know that I have been low enough. I've tried. Like, it's a dark and scary place when you don't have anybody to,
Right.
bounce off of. or you just don't feel like you can bounce off of them, I should say, even.
Right. And I think it's removing that feeling of being a burden. Like,
Mhm. Yeah,
we're not a burden. Our problems are not a burden. They are problems. Just that.
that is my biggest thing. It's just like they're gonna think every time I message them, there's something wrong, and that's what became with my kids. I think more with Amelia, just she's
That mother-daughter bond.
I remember being with that with my mom, and I remember feeling that, like, "Hi, is she ever gonna say anything positive?" Like, and now I began doing that to her, and it's just like, I always tell myself, "I'm never gonna do this to my kids. I will figure it out," because I have always figured it out. But now that I don't have her, I haven't been able to figure it out. So, but I'm figuring it out.
You are.
I am. I'm not there, but
They used to say that's my motto. I still kind of do say that because, like, when anything happens, I'm like, all right, let's just figure it out. Like, there is no choice. Like, I mean, there are choices, obviously.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
for me, there's no choice. Like, we're just gonna figure this out and get through this and get to the next thing.
Yeah.
I think that's good. And again, that's good and bad. But like now it's better because again, I'm reaching out and I'm saying I'm not okay. Finally. And I encourage you to do it more too, because I'm telling you,
I'm trying.
it was so like it still scares me. Like I'm waiting for somebody to be like, Rachel, get it together. You're pathetic. Like shut up. But nobody has.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody has.
And you're not.
This is all out of my control. I'm just responding to events that are happening.
Yeah. Very normal. Very human.
Yeah.
I'll go there. If you don't, I mean, wow. I don't know. No, nobody. Everybody goes through something.
It's gonna
Like
vary.
some that are fakers. I don't know, but RE, it's like you're burying something.
Mhm.
It's gonna come out somewhere.
It always comes out in your actions and your like interactions, your behaviors, like whatever it is, like it always comes through somehow.
Physically too. Like I
Mhm.
mean, just burying stuff. It just even if it's not like behaviors, like it will physically make you sick. So
Can't.
many things go wrong.
Well, we covered quite a bit.
Yes, we did.
I think that's probably enough of that for today. Would like to end with a quote that Dana found.
Yeah. So this is kind of really I don't this just really like resonated with me. It just feels like very natural to say. But if you're listening today and you're in the middle of something hard, just want you to know this. Resilience isn't about pretending you're okay. It's about taking one more step when you're not. Sometimes that's all courage looks like. One more step. And eventually those steps become a life that you're proud of. So I know I just felt like it just really felt good. What's I mean, right? It's like, yeah, that's right now.
I mean, it's 100% true. I mean, that's what we're here for is like to encourage that because again, we've been through the ringer and you just saw her snippet of what we've been through. That's not even all of it, right?
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, if you obviously if you need help with anything, reach out. There's the crisis lines 988. Seek a therapist, talk to somebody, give me a call. I'll talk to you on the phone if you need it for the minute,
Yeah.
whatever you need. Please feel free to reach out. Um,
You're not too much for the right people. So, because
right.
gotta have a little courage to reach out.
Mhm.
And if you are too much for that person that you thought, then well, next.
Bye. All right. Well, that's all for today. Um, if you have any questions or comments, or if there's anything that you want us to talk about, reach out, comment on any of our videos, or email directly to podcastbtr26@gmail.com. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.